yeah, we can't change other people. It's just hard seeing someone you love struggle. Hello. In my unbothered video that I posted a week ago, there were quite a few people in the comments. In that video I talk about acceptance, and quite a few people in the comments picked up on acceptance as one of the most difficult things in terms of accepting other people's damaging choices. I am again wrestling with acceptance. Just seeing the people who you care about make bad decisions and engage in behaviour that short term might be alright, but if that carries on over the long term, that's going to be really damaging. I remember watching or listening to Alicia Gogan's podcast, because I love her, the Glow Up Secrets podcast, and she was like, it's alright to engage in whether it's like comfort food or falling out of your normal routines, that's fine, because there's ups and downs to everything, and you're not always going to feel like you want to go to the gym or do this much walking or whatever it is. But she was like, you need to, if it's going on too long, yes, this is a Christmas mug in May. I love the shape of this mug, and the other ones are in the dishwasher. I could wash them, I'm too lazy. If you are going to think about, if I carried on this way for months, like it's alright if I decide, oh, today I'm not going to go for a walk, or today I'm going to eat a whole tub of ice cream. That's fine. But imagine if you're doing that thing for 3 months. You don't go outside for 3 months. You eat a pot of ice cream every day for 3 months. These aren't the healthiest behaviours. Your body is not going to thank you for doing that. And neither is your mind or your mood or whatever. And it's just hard. And like, I always feel stupid talking about this kind of stuff because I'm in recovery from addiction. So there was a point where I was engaged in this behaviour of only focusing on the short term and not caring about long term. Like, I knew long term alcohol is really damaging, and I knew long term that it wasn't looking good, but I didn't care. But I think that's maybe why it bothers me so much when I see other people behaving this way. I'm not talking about behaving this way in terms of alcohol, but making choices day after day which add up over a period of months to really bad lifestyle choices which are going to limit what they can do in the future. The reason I think it bothers me so much is that I was there and I'm not anymore. And I'm like, how can I get you to the point where you make a change and stop doing that? Because I know it's possible, because I've done it and I didn't think I would be able to do it. And it's just like, how can I help? Sometimes you just have to watch. Like, it feels like watching a car crash in slow motion. You're like, I know where this is going to lead. And if the other person thought about it, they would know where it's going to lead, but they don't seem willing to engage with reality. Which is fair enough. Reality sucks. I wish I could still live in the denial that I was in, because even though I was aware that it was like a prison, I at least could pretend that I had chosen that. It felt like a choice, even though it wasn't, because it was a compulsion. But I can understand why people want to live in their denial instead of facing up to reality. That doesn't make it any easier for the people around them though. I mean, why should it be about me? But it's just hard when you know what the solution is and people aren't willing to do anything to get there themselves. I don't know why I'm making this video. I think in terms of accepting someone who's making bad choices and trying to help them, maybe one thing you can do is trying to be an example of the fact that they can change, because they are probably thinking that it's impossible for them to change. Same way I thought it was impossible for me to change, and yet here I am. I kind of forget how bad it used to be, and then I can even be grateful for that complacency, because I'm like, oh wow, I've come so far that I can even take a sober day for granted. And then I'm very quickly like, no, no complacency, because that's dangerous and I don't ever want to be complacent about it. But the fact that it can be shows that it's become normal, it's become my regular routine. So change is possible, but it's when it feels so overwhelming and you then get into a vicious circle of, I don't think I can do anything. And then you like, it's not only a circle in terms of you're going around making the same poor choices. Sorry, for you it'll be that way, going round. But then it also is a spiral. You're not just static going around the same things like on a roundabout or a merry-go-round. You're actually like tunneling deeper, like it's getting worse and worse, and the hole that you're falling down is getting harder to climb out of because everything starts compounding and the problems are getting worse, not better, with time. It's difficult. Whether it's like a friend who continuously is choosing to date a certain kind of person who is not emotionally available. People who are using food or exercise to cope with uncomfortable feelings in a really dangerous or potentially dangerous and just very dysfunctional way. People using, alcohol, substances. People just not feeling like they have any agency. Like, you do have some control over your life. You are responsible for the decisions that you make. And that's both terrifying, I find that scary, but it's also freeing, because you could do something right now, whatever your situation is, or whatever the person you're thinking of. I'm thinking of a particular person. It's like, you could do something. Like, it would just be a small thing. The problem's not going to be fixed overnight. The problem didn't happen overnight. Like, it didn't just suddenly emerge as it is, because that's the other thing with these things. They creep up and everything becomes normal. But if one day you were a certain way and the next day you were your worst, that switch would be so dramatic that you wouldn't put up with that. You wouldn't be like, oh, this is just how it is, because it was such a dramatic change. But it doesn't happen like that. It's a slow decline. So you just gradually accept that this is the way it is. And it's like, why? Why are you just accepting this? And it's because the problem seems so insurmountable. In our dissertation module, because that was like the biggest project that we'd worked on that so far, that was 10,000 words, and up to that point the biggest essay we'd done was 3,000, so it was, more than 3 times the size of what we'd done before. And they used an expression, or like a phrase that I hated, but it's stuck with me. It's kind of annoying because I'm like, oh, why did I have to remember that? They were saying, yes, it's going to feel overwhelming, and I think I might make a video about, sorry, I lost it again. I might make a video about my dissertation experience. I've not got the mark back yet, but what they said was, yes, this feels so overwhelming. It's a lot, but you can do it. And they used the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And I hate that so much, and I hate that it's something that stuck with me, but it's also very true. Clearly what they were saying was, yes, 10,000 words is a lot, it's more than you've ever written in this academic context, but how do you do that? You do it one word at a time, one sentence at a time, one idea at a time, one book at a time, one paragraph at a time, one point at a time, right? And you end up with this completed project, which I did. But the difference there is that I was doing that as part of my degree. I was like, yes, I'm committed to this, and even if I'm not, I have to do it, because otherwise I'm not going to pass my degree, and I want to get my degree, so I'm doing this dissertation. It's kind of forced into it, whereas in life, you just do what you want. There's none of that structure unless you're giving yourself that structure of, no, I don't want to end up like that. I'm going to take these steps to prevent that. No, I don't want to be that kind of person. I need to watch these emotions, or watch these thoughts, or watch these behaviours, so I don't end up bitter or resentful or jealous, sad, whatever, feeling like I have no control or no agency, no ability to change, feeling powerless. Because yes, it's intimidating, but you do have the power to change. You just need to show up consistently. And I say just because obviously it's really hard. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Whatever big change that you need to make in your life to turn your life around, it is going to happen one small step at a time. I guess, where are you getting your motivation from? Like I say, for my degree, that motivation was coming from the fact that I want my degree, so I had to do the dissertation. Also, I could pick the topic I was doing it on. That was fine. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. So I guess it's different if you find yourself backed into a corner by life and you're just sort of having to change, but you really don't want to because these habits are comfortable and you've made this dark place your comfort zone. But it's like, what's worse? Staying as you are and staying that way for 6 months, or as we said earlier, 3 months, 6 months, a year. What's worse? Staying like this for potentially the rest of your life, continuing with these bad habits, this bad coping mechanism, the way you feel even. Like, is that worse, or is the pain of change worse? The consistent, I'm going to stick to this habit, the decision every day to try to get better. What's worse? Because for me, I'm like, I guess it's different. Like, I'm every day living out my I've changed and I'm choosing the better way in my recovery. But I guess it's different if you're still on the precipice of making that change. Like, I had my rock bottom and I made my change, so I was like, it's this or nothing, so I need to change now. If you've not got to that point yet, but you look at some people and you're like, how are you not there yet? How is this what you wanted your life to be, or what you thought your life would be? And don't you have any imagination for so much more that you could be doing? It just makes me really sad. And I thought I would talk about acceptance because it seemed to be something that resonated with a lot of people in my other video. I have no idea if I'll post this. We can't change other people. I don't know how to help other people. It's just hard seeing someone you love struggle. If you have any thoughts, I would love to hear from you. and then we can maybe come to some kind of consensus, or at least learn from each other or share our experiences. So please comment below with your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.